While I still can't take sole credit for this, I certainly am very happy that Creative Assembly added the Great Spider, or the Arachnarok, to the Goblin Great Shaman as a mount. The Spider Shrine, of course, one of my most requested features pre-Grom the Paunch DLC, now is a solid Lord choice in a number of matchups. The Cool Umbrella is going to be taking it against Rocket Ruse Slaanesh. Definitely a very interesting matchup. Two of the best light cavalry factions in the game facing off. Let's get to the builds here. Of course, we've got the Great Shaman up on the Spider. He's got Itchy Nuisance and Gork'll Fix It for two solid debuffs, both applicable to Slaanesh. Don't even try it. His bound direct damage increases recharge time and does some nice single target damage as well. We've got a couple of squig herds here, some orc boys up front, some savage orc air boys in the back, goblins protecting the flanks, and then a huge mobile force of spider riders and squigs hidden in the forest here, and something similar over here over on the far side. All rank 9 as well, which is super interesting to see. For Slaanesh, we've got Exalted Keeper of Secrets, some devoted Hellscourge Marauders, some Chaos Warriors, and the Mirror Guard in main line, and then some big light cavalry forces here. Hellstriders, Marauder Horsemen, to be expected in any level of play in any game mode for Slaanesh. More here in the back, taking a nice surround position. So we're going to keep it in wide cam mostly here, as the squig herds get a nice hit and run charge there in the front line. See the little acquiescence popped from the Exalted Keeper of Secrets as he pursues. And the Greenskins are just going to try and screen here, it looks like. Yeah, Orc Boys screening those Spider Riders, who are still taking quite a bit of damage from the Hellstriders. You know, Durkit Squigs gets caught up and absolutely destroyed by those Hellstriders, so Slaanesh Light Cavalry definitely superior, but with the rank 9 stats, the Greenskins will be able to trade that much more effectively. 41 melee defense on the Spider Riders at rank 9 is pretty considerable, actually, and it will help them trade much more effectively. If we think about sustained combat, right, 28 attack, 15 bonus versus large, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, 41 defense does give you at least close to base hit chance on that. But anyway, taking a nice wide view here, even still, this Great Shaman can also support these mobile forces to a degree, as the Spider Riders actually start to clean up some Hellstriders. Marauder Horsemen trying to get involved, a beautiful screening with these goblins as well. We've got a little bit of a mainline engagement, sort of, kind of happening, as the Spider Riders run some hit-and-run attacks. Durkit Squigs also charging, the regular Squig Hoppers charging the Chaos Warriors, doing some nice armor-piercing damage, initially especially, but once they start to take more damage, they will get pushed back. Here, though, this is pretty great for the Greenskins. The Great Shaman's able to get into combat against the Exalted Keeper of Secrets with WA active, now throwing down some nasty debuffs as well. It looks like Itchy Nuisance going to debuff the Exalted Keeper of Secrets down to only 26 attack. Don't even try it, has been popped as well. Deals some significant damage, and it looks like they actually have matched combat animations. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. Unfortunately, we don't get to see more than just a couple because this Keeper of Secrets is utilizing its speed to try and pull away. Nope, looks like we've got another one there. Oh, yeah. Spider getting a hit. Oh, little spear slap there from this Keeper of Secrets. Little ankle bite right there. Oh, yeah. Super cool. And it's going to be generally going in the Spider's favor due to the debuffs. Gork'll Fix It. Oh, man, down to 32 speed. Look at that. Between the poison, hang on. What's going on here? So it's just the poison and Gork'll Fix It. I mean, I guess Gork'll Fix It is 45% speed debuff, but still, that's insane. Down to 32 speed. That Keeper of Secrets just struggling. Of course, the Vigor is also factoring into the speed situation there as well, so the real number is even lower than that. Anyway, yeah, Savage Orc Air Boys pouring in some fire here, counter-firing very nicely on those Slaanesh Horsemen. Orc Boar Boys getting outmaneuvered, or sorry, regular Orc Boys. Boar Boys might have been nice here, but they also might have just died. Durkit Squigs, regular Squig Hoppers even. I keep seeing that rank 9, and I just think automatically Durkits, but they're fighting across the field. A little bit of immune psychology will prevent them from getting terror-routed by that Exalted Keeper of Secrets, and the rank 9 stats actually leads many of these Greenskins Light Cavalry to fighting to the bitter end, which is very not Greenskins-like, but there you go. Regiment around Wolf Rider archers trying to clean up some units out there in the periphery, but losing out on their leadership with those goblins. Circuit Squigs once again countercharging the Marauder Horsemen. And that speed debuff here, and the attack debuff as well, Itchy Nuisance and Gorkle Fix-It, both super applicable here, helping those Greenskins units trade that much more effectively. Like Gorkle Fix-It, man, such a strong speed debuff. Big area of effect, too. Puts these guys down to 38 speed with the poison on top. Nice. Spell there in the distance. Slicing Shards breaks up a pocket of Squigs and Orc Boys as these other Squigs continue to pursue the Marauder Horsemen. Squig Hoppers still hanging around due to their decent leadership and immune to psychology. Squig Hoppers are just immune to psychology baseline, which does make them very good against factions which can take terror. I mean, Slaanesh definitely can take some strong terror pieces. But here we see Fascination used on the Goblin Great Shaman does make him go out of control. Does a little bit of direct damage as well. Nothing too crazy, but these Spider Riders, man, excellent use of some rank 9 Spider Riders chasing and attacking these Marauder Horsemen. And look at the size difference as well. Goblin Cavalry, these Goblin Spider Cavalry, which are some of the smallest cavalry in the game, versus the hulking Marauder Horsemen of Slaanesh. But gonna continue to pursue. Acquiescence, just to debuff the speed of the Goblin Great Shaman, keep it out of range. The little poison bows on the back, if they do make contact, will actually, yeah, you can see there, they're poisoning the Exalted Keeper Secrets. They're also dealing like a tiny little bit of chip damage every time they make contact. I mean, it's literally like 10 damage, right? Yeah, like maybe even more than that if they actually do make contact, but it's just uncomfortable enough to make the Keeper Secrets not want to continue. Down to 72 speed anyway, just with the poison, and certainly with the vigor situation. You see these cavalry are still tired, whereas this Exalted Keeper Secrets is very tired. Gonna get caught by Spider Riders in the background. Goblin Great Shaman popping Crown of Command to keep itself in the fight while it gets netted by Narcissism. Goblin Spider Riders are able to catch up the Keeper Secrets just enough, break its leadership, and bring it down there. So pretty decisive blow, perhaps to Slaanesh. Right now, the balance of power still holding pretty firm as they've got a lot of infantry and cavalry left on the field. Basically, one full health unit of Chaos Warriors chased out into the boonies there. So, Spider's got quite a bit to grind through before it can claim victory, but more Spiders to assist. A little bit of a debuff there. Didn't quite catch what it was. Spider Riders should be getting a nice rear charge in here at this point. And with most of the tactics done with, we can pretty much just enjoy the beautiful, massive Ragnarok Spider munching on some Mirror Guard and other Slaanesh units. Spider Riders charge in here. The high melee defense, too. I mean, that's a crazy amount of melee defense. 41 melee defense is even enough that, like, these Mirror Guard are not even going to have that great of a contact chance, right? If they have 45 attacks, they're going to have, what, like a 40% hit chance, which is decent, don't get me wrong, but considering that's like a maybe 550, 600 cost like cavalry, actually looks pretty good. And in comparison to Hellstriders, it looks relatively favorable. We'll compare that directly after the fact, because I think that's a really interesting comparison worth making. A lot of people say the Hellstriders are overpowered, including myself, and I still think they need a cost increase, but Spider Riders kind of were secretly what, not quite what Hellstriders are right now, but pretty close. They have been that for pretty much ever, so there you go, Spiders for the win. Here, the Slaanesh units are just starting to have leadership issues. The one relatively healthy Slaanesh warrior still is not kind of pressing this position where the shaman and his goblins are, instead trying to clean up units out in the periphery, which is leading to the rest of the army getting butchered in the meantime and routed off. So a little bit of an unfortunate circumstance there. Probably wanted to stay tight with the rest of the army, but there you go. Live and learn sometimes, or maybe your entire army gets slaughtered and you learn anyway. Yeah, it's still going to be tough to take down this spider, and the best chance is just for the Slaanesh warriors to just win in combat, be able to grind them down over time. Certainly that high melee defense of their own, plus the physical resistance, plus immune to psychology, means they're one of the best Chaos Warrior types to fight in a situation like this. No anti-large AP, obviously, is a huge hindrance, but it's just going to be a grind fest Goblins do still have a little bit of magic to throw around some debuffs. 13 winds of magic available in the pool, none more in reserve, but that's enough for a couple of more, I guess one more Itchy Nuisance. Yeah, not even, yeah, just one more Itchy Nuisance, so that's used at the right time. Could definitely become quite critical, but let's see. It's just one Slaanesh warrior at this point. And the Mirror Guard here also kind of hanging around. There's some Orc Boys supporting for the Greenskins, very critical. And look at this. Savage Orc Air Boys with pretty good AP values. Very, very critical also. These guys are super important at this point. Basically, they're crossbowmen. You can think of them... I mean, I think they literally have more AP than some types of crossbowmen, but... what is it? 6 AP per shot? Yep, so they're basically... similar AP values to crossbows. Makes them solid enough shooting at Chaos Warriors. They should be able to help get the job done alongside the big spider, of course. And that constant poison, too, will mean the kind of low debuffed attack. The poison, it's just not going to be a lot of damage output from these Slaanesh warriors. Still enough to break the last of the Gobos and the Orc Boys there. More clutch Spider Riders, though, coming in from the edge of the map. One last unit of rank 9 spiders, appropriately enough. I feel like... I know there is a Spider Rider ROR, a Bow Spider Rider ROR, but, and also an Arachnarok ROR, which might be decent in this matchup. The summons, I don't know, maybe the summons just get eliminated by Slaanesh Light Cavalry, but it would give you some more numbers in a situation like this, certainly. Maybe the double Big Spider is just too much a risk against Slaanesh, but... I have run builds like that before, where you take this guy on his spider, and then you take the ROR spider alongside it. And it's obviously very tall spend. You probably have to cut all the chevrons and just go with cheap cavalry, maybe a couple of spider riders, cut all the squigs probably too. I don't know, I'd have to actually look and see, but at this point, victory is pretty much guaranteed. We'll just fast forward through the end grind, as those Slaanesh warriors will take some time to give up the fight, but future is inevitable. And the future is spiders, so there you go. Love that usage. Love to see this guy shine anytime he can. 3,500 damage value, and believe it or not, Slaanesh weirdly struggles against large armored targets occasionally. If they don't bring the right build construction, you don't have enough armor piercing damage. Like here, the only source of armor piercing was the Exalted Keeper of Secrets, and as we saw there, Goblin Shaman had the tools and the magic to win in a unfair fight, you could call it, but still a relative 1v1 due to a few different factors. But definitely I was pretty surprised at how well the Greenskins Light Cavalry contested against the Slaanesh Light Cavalry. Both players definitely scaled very heavily into that, but due to the Greenskins' lower kind of cost, I guess, to a degree. I mean, I guess they literally had the same number of light cavalry units. Well, maybe not. Greenskins had a couple more. Could it maybe include these squig herds in there, even though only one of them paid for themselves. But the infantry for the Greenskins tends to be very cost-effective at supporting. The Savage Orc Air Boys also super clutch as well. On the flip side, Chaos Warriors, they do a pretty decent job, but don't quite pay for themselves. Except for maybe the Mirror Guard, and I like to see Hellstriders also getting limited on value as well, although the Marauder Horsemen definitely had a field day. Maybe some, I don't know. The tricky thing is to take, like, Wolf Rider or Spider Rider archers. The Hellstriders will be able to catch them, so it's kind of tough to try and know if you'll be able to protect them or not. Maybe, though, if you had enough of your own light cavalry here, like with all these squigs and Spider Riders, maybe it would be enough. But let's just quickly compare Hellstriders to rank 9 Spider Riders. We come here to Slaanesh, and then, of course, the Greenskins. Spider Riders, 425 base cost. If you rank them up to rank 9, they are 639, so they are a little bit more expensive. But let's compare their stats. Where are the Hellstriders? So the anti-large Hellstriders is going to be the ones most commonly brought. Look at that difference in melee defense. Also, an extra 30 armor is a pretty decent amount. That is certainly enough to make a little bit of a difference in some engagements. Attack is basically the same. Then, of course, you have the anti-large bonus. You've got the extra charge bonus of the Hellstriders. Means they'll do more damage, obviously. But Spider Rider archers can be seen as kind of a janky analog to this. They're probably a little bit more comparable, yeah, to the Whip Hellstriders, right? Hellscourge Hellstriders, and you see their attack defense profiles a lot more similar. Almost basically the same. I mean, 3 more attack, 3 less defense, but then you see the difference in weapon strength, charge, same leadership actually, which I thought was pretty interesting as well. Obviously the difference in speed, and then the armor. Not to mention, Hellstriders have immune to psychology. They also both have Strider, interestingly enough, but then, of course, the Soul Hunter's passive does mean if these guys chase routing units, they get significantly stronger, like much, much stronger. So, there's also the other thing to consider too, though, that, I mean, Spider Riders probably have WA a couple of times over the course of the battle, maybe getting some other significant melee attack buffs, although, and we keep going back and forth on this, Slaanesh is very likely to have the Lore of Slaanesh lore attribute, which is also giving map-wide melee attack buffs. So a lot of interesting considerations here. I'll have to play some more games between these two factions to really drill down and see, but I'm sticking with Slaanesh-like Cavalry is the best for the time being, but Greenskins are definitely still a close second in my book. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below, though. Hopefully you enjoyed this. If you like this sort of content, be sure to like, subscribe, hit that bell notification button. Every time I upload a new video, you'll be notified. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.